The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Good morning. The FNM accusing the government of making idle promises on the Grand Lucayan and the Grand Bahama Airport. Hundreds honored for National Heroes Day. And remembering Philip Galanis. It's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Duquesne Dean will be joining us. Also this morning, we are talking with the University of the Bahamas about their homecoming celebrations for 2024. And later in business, it's our monthly segment with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. A lot to talk with them about. That's all ahead on this Tuesday. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, FNM leader Michael Pintard accusing the Davis administration of failing to keep promises, given that there has been no update on whether a deal has been reached for the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort, despite Prime Minister Philip Davis saying more than 3 weeks ago that he expects the government to close the sale within the next 2 weeks. In a statement, Pintard saying, quote, seemingly taking over from his deputy prime minister who could not disclose the deal. The prime minister 3 weeks ago assured the Bahamian people that the Grand Lucayan Hotel would finally, this time for sure, be sold within 2 weeks. That pledge followed more than 2 years of similar idle promises from this rudderless PLP regime, yet to the surprise of no one, his earnest deadline has come and gone, and still the Bahama left disappointed once again. Speaking on September 19th, the Prime Minister said the discussions were intense with an intended buyer, and they wanted to make sure that they sell the resort to a world-class brand name. Pintard noted that many Bahamians are anxious for the sale. The government expects to receive final approval for the funding of a $290 million specialty hospital from the Export-Import Bank of China by early November. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Michael Darville confirming this yesterday. The new hospital will be constructed in Western New Providence, and officials expect the facility will alleviate some of the issues facing Princess Margaret Hospital, on Shirley Street. Darville says he still expects the government to break ground on the new hospital before the end of the year. A jury acquitting a man of rape by a majority verdict. Chet Antonio Hanna was accused of the November 26, 2018 rape of an 18-year-old woman. According to the woman, she went out to Gambier Village in New Providence with friends, including Hanna. While there, she left the group with Hanna to use the restroom. As there was a long line, she went outside to relieve herself in the parking lot. She said that Hanna forced himself on her in a van. He allegedly broke the zipper on her romper before he raped her. But the woman testified she came into the van but was unaware of the assault. She said that during the assault, a woman came in the front of the van and smoked a joint. Again, the jury acquitted Hanna of rape. A prosecutor urging jurors to convict a man of unlawful sexual intercourse after describing his defense as fictional. 20-year-old Mandingo Marshall, otherwise known as Mandingo Cartwright and Dingo, is accused of having sexual intercourse with a 15-year-old girl in June 2021. He's denied the allegation at his trial before Justice Renee McKay. The Haitian virtual complainant testified that she went to Marshall's home where he had sex with her against her will, while his cousin watched and laughed. In her closing address, the jury, Acting Director of Public Prosecutions Cordell Frazier thanked Marshall for waiving his constitutional right to silence. You can read more about the case in today's Nassau Guardian. And as more than 300 Bahamians were awarded national honors at Government House on National Heroes Day, Prime Minister Philip Davis said the awards are not only a recognition of honorees' personal achievements, but also their ideals and what they mean for the Bahamas' identity and its continued growth and development. He said these are not just individual accolades, they represent the shared spirit of our people. You can read more about that in today's Nassau Guardian. And as his 70th birthday approached a couple months back, Philip Galanis contemplated how he would observe it. Initially, he thought to have a big nighttime party to celebrate, but eventually settled on a champagne and cigar night with his beloved brothers of Delta Lambda Boulay on the night of his birthday, which he celebrated. This story and more in today's Nassau Guardian as people all over the country remember the great writer and politician. Special tributes in today's Nassau Guardian as well. You want to pick that up for all the information. Overseas, an Israeli airstrike hitting an apartment building in northern Lebanon, killing at least 21 people. That's according to the Lebanese Red Cross. The Israeli military did not immediately comment, and the target was not clear. The strike hit a small apartment building in the village of Aito, which is part of the country's Christian heartland in the north and far from the Hezbollah militant group's main areas of influence in the south and east. Rescue workers in Aito searching through the rubble as ambulances stood by to receive the bodies of victims. Nearby buildings and cars were damaged in the strike as well. The strike coming a day after Hezbollah drone attacks on an army base in northern Israel killed 4 soldiers, all of them 19 years old. They also severely wounded 7 others in the deadliest strike by the militant group since Israel launched its ground invasion of Lebanon nearly 2 weeks ago. On Monday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the army base and soldiers wounded in the attack, vowing that, quote, "We will continue to strike Hezbollah without compassion in every part of Lebanon, including Beirut." 61 people were wounded in Sunday's attack. Hezbollah has fired thousands of rockets, missiles, and drones into Israel over the past year, killing more than 60 people, although Israel says most have been intercepted by its air defense systems or hit open areas. Meanwhile, the UN Security Council expressing strong concern as Israel has fired on and wounded UN peacekeepers in southern Lebanon during intensified fighting, reiterating its support for their role in supporting security in the region. It's the first statement by UN's most powerful body since Israel's attacks on the position of the peacekeeping forces drawing international condemnation now. UN peacekeeping chief Jean-Pierre Lacroix telling reporters that Security Council or Secretary General Antonio Guterres confirmed Monday that peacekeepers will remain in all areas and all their positions. even as Israel has urged the peacekeepers to move 3 miles north during its ground invasion in Lebanon. It's time for sports, brought to you by the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup coming to Nassau this month. Bahamian Jonquil J.J. Jones and the New York Liberty are heading to the Twin Cities with the WNBA Finals deadlocked at a game apiece. After losing a heartbreaker in overtime on Friday, Jones and the Liberty bouncing back in a wire-to-wire 80-66 victory at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, evening the best-of-5 championship series at 1 apiece. The series now shifts to Target Center, Minneapolis for Game 3 Wednesday night. The Bahamas picking up its first victory in the CONCACAF Nations League play in 2024, turning back the U.S. Virgin Islands 3-1 in Barbados on Saturday. Brandon Adderley was the player of the match for the Bahamas, scoring 2 of the 3 goals. Left-wing Adderley struck first in the 13th minute of the game on an assist from Peter Jolmas. The Bahamas finding the back of the net again in the 23rd minute of the game on an assist from Jordan Cheatham. More details in today's Guardian Sports section. And for Bahamian track and field legend Keith Parker, it'll come to the celebrations come to a climax here. An event hosted by the B3As Saturday at 7 p.m. More details in today's Guardian Sports section. From Major League Baseball, the New York Yankees taking advantage of wild pitching and catching from the Cleveland Guardians, winning their American League Championship Series opener 5-2. And the New York Mets stopping the LA Dodgers' scoreless streak in a 7-3 win. They're heading to New York now for their National League Championship Series, which is tied at 1 apiece. And from football, the NFL, the Buffalo Bills getting past New York Jets 23-20 to take control of the AFC East. That's sports, brought to you by the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup, calling all baseball fans and families. The Caribbean Baseball Cup is coming to Nassau October 23rd through 28th at the Andre Rogers National Stadium. 6 countries, Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Curacao, the U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Martin, and the Bahamas will compete for the championship title. 17 thrilling games over 6 days. Come out and witness the best in Caribbean baseball. Mark your calendars, October 23rd through 28th, and stay tuned and follow the hashtag OutaHair24 for more information. First look at weather brought to you by Scotiabank. We've got a surface troughing that's going to support pockets of shower activity across portions of the northwest and central and southeast Bahamas today. Meanwhile, weak ridging will maintain light to moderate breezes over the islands. A cold front is expected to move into the northern Bahamas late on Wednesday, and that's going to further increase the chance of showers. There's potential for funnel cloud activity and water spouts. Everyone can expect localized flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas during heavy and prolonged rainfall events. Your forecast for today for the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, partly sunny, turning partly cloudy tonight. You've got about a 10 to 20% chance of showers. Winds north to northeast at 10 knots or less, becoming northeast to east at less than 10 knots tonight, falling light and variable at times. For the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, we're looking at partly cloudy to cloudy conditions today as well, turning straight through to tonight. 20 to 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Winds northeast to east at 10 knots or less, becoming east to southeast at 10 knots, falling light and variable at times. For the central Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight, east to southeast winds at 10 knots or less, falling light and variable at times. And for the southeast Bahamas, partly sunny today, occasional cloudy periods, partly cloudy tonight. Winds east to southeast at 10 knots or less, increasing to 10 to 15 knots tonight. Got about a 20 to 40% chance for showers and thunderstorms in the central and southeastern islands. Temperatures today, we're looking at highs around 89 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. That's your first look at weather this morning, brought to you by Scotiabank, reminding you to be a fraud fighter. Sharing isn't always caring. Keep your personal and financial information private. Never share account details with anyone. A reminder from Scotiabank.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
It is time for a break. But when we come back, we're discussing the day's top stories right here on Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9, your home for fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
You are invited to the 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium, October 23rd through 28th, 2024. Bringing the action will be the national teams from Cuba, Curacao, Dominican Republic, U.S. Virgin Islands, St. Martin, and Team Bahamas. There will be 3 games daily from October 23rd to 27th, and the championship gold and bronze games on October 28th. Don't you miss it. The 6th Caribbean Baseball Cup at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium. Save the date, set your alerts, and be there.
The future of driving is here, and it's electric. Welcome to EV City, Easy Car Sales' new home for electric vehicles. Whether you want an affordable model or a luxury ride, EV City has the perfect electric car for you. Don't just take our word for it. Come test drive the power, the smoothness, and the savings. You'll love electric after just one ride. Cut your driving costs in half and say goodbye to gas stations for good. Visit EV City on the highway through the Solomon Service Road and drive into the future today.
We wish you a new car to drive, a new home for a growing family, the trip of a lifetime. Start now with CIBC Caribbean for everything you're dreaming of this holiday season. Apply for a loan online at CIBCFCIB.com. Conditions apply.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
NASA, are you ready for November 2nd? Because we are ready!
Hi, this is KB, and I will be performing live.
Break and Scrape Explosion. Reloaded.
This is the one and only Fan John letting y'all know that yours truly will be performing.
Oh yeah, this your boy D-Mac, and I'll be performing live.
Keep the vibe alive. Music Group and Top for Sounds Promotion invites you to the biggest Rake and Scrape concert of the year.
And you thought they was gonna leave me out? Hey!
Saturday, November 2nd at Super Club Breezes Ground.
It's me, Mama D.
This is Wilfred Solomon.
Yo, it's your boy Ron.
It's your boy Elliot from the New Breed Band.
The biggest artist of the 242.
It's your boy Shine 242.
Hey, it's Sherrod Taylor.
It's your boy Johnny K.
Falcon Show guy.
It's your boy DJ Rev.
It's me now, Funky D.
This is your girl Nishi Out Ass, aka Miss Loose Me.
Hey there, this is Freak on Beat.
Hey, this is Cheeto D, and I will be performing live.
Hey, it's me, Julian Belize.
Tickets available at the Beauty Shack and BahamasEtickets.com. The countdown is on. Rake and Scrape Explosion. Best of the best.
Are you a Bahamian with property on one of our 16 island destinations? Well, the Tourism Development Corporation, in partnership with Bahamas Development Bank, is officially launching our Home Sweet Home Incentive. Join the vacation market by transforming your properties into vacation rentals. Earn up to $10,000 or more in funding and start building today. Register at tdcbahamas.com. from October 7th to November 18th. What are you waiting on? Build your vacation home today.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Grooving all week with you. These days are all.
Saturdays are going to be your happiest days. Our exciting new Saturday lineup premieres October 19th on Guardian Radio 96.9.
These happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at MorningBlend969 or Facebook.com/MorningBlend969. Text us 422-4796 on the Guardian Radio text line, powered by BTC. Standard text rate supply. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan. Joining me now, Duquesa Dean. Duquesa, good morning.
Morning, Bahamas. Happy Tuesday.
Hey, hope you enjoyed your National Heroes Day holiday.
Yes, today. I definitely did. Went to the beach, was able to relax a bit. Really a laid-back day. I felt like a hero myself. And I want to salute all of the heroes out there, including you, Dwight, because you are a hero.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay. Well, I'm glad you had a great day. Hopefully your power stayed on, unlike some others of us. But,
I mean, we did have some challenges over the weekend, but yesterday was okay.
Oh, good. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, what about you? What about you? How was your holiday?
Yeah. Hey, it was nice to have the day off. except for when the power was off for a number of hours,
Mm.
which was the night before as well during that massive storm, which flooded a good portion of the island. And hey, it's been an interesting weekend. Let's just put it like that. But grateful to be here with you on
Great.
this Tuesday. Short
Yeah.
week. Hopefully it goes by quickly.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So, hey, we got a lot to talk about this morning. We're going to be talking with the University of the Bahamas. Their homecoming celebrations are just a couple of weeks away, all November. They've got a whole bunch of events planned. They're going to tell us about that. And then later in business, we're talking with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. We have a monthly segment with them. And it's time already for that. So that's today. But there's a lot more to talk about in the news.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
And in the news, as Duquesa mentioned, National Heroes Day yesterday, and hundreds of Bahamians honored as part of this. And there's a whole lot on that in today's NASA Guardian, pictures as well. And be sure to pick up today's copy to read more about that and what was said at the special ceremony yesterday to honor them. Topping the list, as you remember, we've told you, Kate Moss, a slave who was awarded the Order of National Hero. Her torture, one of the catalysts to end slavery in the Western Hemisphere, and quite a story there. But again, congratulations to everybody, and wonderful stuff.
Yeah, congratulations to you all.
And there is more on Philip Galanis, a dear friend of the NASA Guardian, who died suddenly last week, and lots of tributes coming in now, a whole lot in today's NASA Guardian as well. So you definitely want to pick up a copy to read about that. It's going to be an addition to remember. Definitely today's paper. So keep that in mind. All right, so we didn't tell you about this in the overnight, but you need to know about it. We had another murder, this time on Grand Bahama. Police on Grand Bahama questioning 4 men in connection with the stabbing death of an unidentified man early Sunday morning. He's been identified now, according to some other sources. We'll get to that in a bit. Police say officers responded to complaints of a disturbance at a business establishment on Polaris Drive, Caravel Beach, around 2 a.m. Police getting there, observing a group of men engaged in a physical altercation. Police say the fight de-escalated and those involved dispersed. But according to the crime report, police were later informed that 2 men arrived at the hospital with multiple stab wounds. Shortly thereafter, a third man suffering from stab wounds to the lower back was taken to the hospital. The third man was pronounced dead. Police say they've arrested 4 people again, and they are assisting them with the investigation. Wow. So, according to the Tribune, the victim is a 21-year-old Grand Bahama man. Relatives say the victim is Kennedy Webb. And he recently appeared in a viral video of a grocery store where his mother shielded him as other men threatened and insulted him. Wow. Ooh, okay. This article.
Wait, Dwight, hold on.
Oh boy.
He's the guy that was in the grocery store. I want to make sure I get this. And he was being his mom protected him, and then he ended up being killed.
Apparently.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's hard. That's very, very hard.
Wow. Okay, that's quite a story. Yes, hopefully we'll hear more about exactly what happened there. But that's very disturbing stuff. Huh. Wow. Okay. Oh, boy. The other big story, the F&M criticizing the government about promises that were made that have not been fulfilled as yet, even though they gave deadlines and said that by this time these things would happen. Our Candia Dame's writing about it. F&M leader Michael Pinstar accused the Davis administration of failing to keep promises, given that there's been no update on whether a deal has been reached with the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort, despite Prime Minister Philip Davis saying more than 3 weeks ago that he expected the government to close a sale within the next 2 weeks. So Pintard saying, quote, seemingly taking over from his deputy prime minister who could not disclose the deal or close the deal. The prime minister 3 weeks ago assured the Bahamian people that Grand Lucayan Hotel would finally, this time for sure, be sold within 2 weeks. That pledge followed more than 2 years of similar idle promises from this rudderless PLP regime. Yet to the surprise of no one, his earnest deadline has come and gone, and still the people of Grand Bahama are left disappointed once again. The Grand Lucayan remains unsold. Pintard noted that many Grand Bahamians are anxious for the sale. He said, quote, there are those who aspire to be hired directly by the hotel, others like taxi drivers, musicians, straw vendors, and other entrepreneurs who stand ready to give the best in services and products. However, the government continues to tell them one story or the other. Pintard also pointed to the slow pace of the work on the Grand Bahama Airport project. He said the people of Grand Bahama, and indeed the entire Bahamas, also recalled the many promises and pledges and commitments to begin work in earnest on the new Grand Bahama Airport. Yet besides some demolition of the interior of the international terminal, nothing is happening. As is standard for the PLP, they talk a big game but cannot deliver. Pintard said countless Grand Bahamians continue to be affected by the government's failed promises. Well, speaking about the airport 3 weeks ago, the Prime Minister said the development is moving along, but slower than he expected. He said, quote, I had anticipated by now we should have had shovels in the ground. Davis said that at the time he was set to have a meeting with stakeholders about the project. But Pintard is accusing the government of being in open breach of the Public Finance Management Act, as there remains no functioning Fiscal Responsibility Council. So, a lot there. Let's get your reaction to it, folks. Still, after all this time, still nothing on the hotel, nothing on the airport, still lots of questions. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. You can call us toll free, 242-300-5720. You can tweet us, you can Facebook us, you can text us, 422-4796. Standard text rates apply. Okay. Are you surprised? Are you surprised that we haven't heard? He said 2 weeks. We've heard that before. We'd heard early in the year. We'd heard last year. We'd heard over and over. They've been close. There were so many people. I think they said it was a significant number. That's not the direct quote, but that's how they described it. It's a number of people who were interested in the Grand Lucayan. But yet, here we still are. What do you think's happening? It is bizarre, is it not? Or what is the issue? Could it possibly be? And then even more curious is the airport. Like, what is going on?
I'm going to be optimistic here and say maybe they're doing the work and we just haven't had update. Maybe it's slow progress. There should be like some communication that comes out frequently or enough updating the public on the projects that are under works. Like, so we know what's happening. Don't you agree?
Well, you can't hide these two. As you heard Pintard said, there's been a little bit of demolition, but real work that should have been happening by now. Even the Prime Minister said it, that he's disappointed that they haven't put the shovels in the ground yet. So it is behind. There's no way you can hide it. What's the holdup, though? If they could tell us that, that would be good to know.
Yeah.
And quite a few people don't think that airport should go back there. Maybe that's it, but that's a complicated matter as well. But what really is going on? Some text messages here, not quite about this, but about some other things. This person says here, one time ago when you got honors, they used to list your accomplishments and services to others and community. Now they just throw out the names. Well, this last list was very long. I guess they couldn't print anything that lengthy because that would have been, wow. But I think people...
Maybe they said it, like, while the people were being called up. Maybe they said. I
You
wasn't
mean
there,
yesterday?
so I don't know. Yeah. Maybe they said.
Well, it would have
I
been
was-
nice if when they published the list months ago, they'd told everybody, because some people didn't even know which one this was. People with similar
Right.
names, like, is it you, or is it your cousin? Is it, I don't know which one this is. And so there was confusion. But hopefully they'll get back to that, maybe pare down the list a bit, and then let people know what they did. That would be good. This texter here, boy, this is our friend. Dwight, yet another single mother defending her son and having to lay her son down. I don't know how you know she's single. Did it say that? Plus, so where is the father? Would you try? Why are you acting like people are preventing the men from being apart? I know that does happen occasionally, but that's not universal. What's your deal? What's your issue? What's wrong with you?
Oh, wow. Wow.
Like, why aren't you asking where the father is?
Right.
Why aren't you saying, where was the father?
And asking for the men to take their rightful roles in the lives of their children. If this is a single mom, right? Why aren't you calling for men to stand up and to show up and to do more? Why be on the attack for women? It's just insane.
Plus, he's 21. It's
You know?
not a child.
Insane.
Very young, but not a child. Let's go to the phone lines. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning to both of you, Alan Johnson.
Hi, good morning.
Let me just
Good
answer
morning.
for the fathers, at least most fathers. The easiest way to solve that problem is to have a shared custody agreement. Cleaver Duncan and I have been asking for it for 20 plus years, where on the birth of a child, both parents have joint custody, with one of them being the primary custodian, meaning that's the only way they live. And so we could fix these problems we have in our country, but it seems like we just need something.
I mean, I don't understand what you're saying. You're trying to say that you need the government to do this? Because you, as
You don't
two
need to
grown
know, but
adults,
I'm
can agree to that, right?
No, but what happens is we've had since 1970, when 20% of individuals was listed born in the Bahamas, was born to an unmarried mother and a single parent. Today, 50 years later, we have a 70% plus of single mother homes. Now, we have to ask ourselves, if all these fathers are under 50, somehow we have a broken system, the same way your caller always call about this traditional family. But we don't want to talk about the broken system that we have, because broken children will become broken men and women. And so I'm simply saying it's by working to restore the family structures, and begins with a shared custody of a child versus that where the rights and privileges are automatically given to the mother. And we've had conversations concerning the brokenness between the family. So it restores the family and holds them criminally liable for the destruction of that structure. But
So
that's
again,
like,
what are you saying should happen? Shouldn't you, as a grown man, negotiate with the mother of the child and say, "Hey, I want to be a partner in this, and let's do this, and we'll make it. We'll have a legally binding agreement." No,
you don't have to have a legally binding agreement, but what it is it's something called a safety net. The 20 plus years at home we have talked about, and it's part of that problem. The studies reflect that go to the prison and everything else in the absence of your father. But this is the point you missed, Dwight. You take the position that, okay, the fathers don't want to have anything to do with the child, don't do anything. Let me ask you, who brought that father up in the last 50 years?
But see, Alan, I think it goes a little bit deeper than that because
No, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm asking him because I'm saying is that we could play this blame game or we could fix it.
How do you fix it?
By starting with the shared custody. By doing the shared custody, at minimum, it also addresses...
So you're trying to say the government should mandate it?
It's not mandating anything.
What are you saying? Do it. You're a grown man. If you could have sex, go talk to this woman and say, I want to do this. And if we got to go to a lawyer, we're going to go to a lawyer.
No, but that's what I'm saying to you. No, but see, you saying if you have to go to a lawyer, I'm saying to you, you could eliminate the need for you to go to a lawyer. By virtue, it's children's rights.
Let me hear what Duquesne has to say.
No,
I don't think you'll ever be able to eliminate. If you don't want to marry, you're going to have a problem. Duquesne, let me hear what you have to say. Hold on, see, Alan. Wait, he's gone?
Okay. So the issue goes a little bit deeper than that because when you have parents that break up, whether they're married or single or whatever, and they have a lot of animosity and a lot of issues that exist between them, you have this division in parenting where either the mom doesn't want the dad to have anything to do with the kids, or the dad is upset with the mom and chooses not to do anything with the kids. It goes back to a maturity level of saying, we did not work out, but how do we co-parent these children together? Like, how do we work together to give these children the most stable homes? And that is what the problem is, because we're so caught up in the emotions of what that person did to us and that they may have been unfaithful, that they may have beaten us or whatever, that we hold that against them and prevent them from actually being an effective parent. That is a big issue.
Yeah, so you better have a legal document where you can't just do this just because you're mad at me.
We don't enforce the law. I mean,
well, no. If you have a legal document, trust me, you will enforce that. See, Alan, you still there?
Yes, I am. Dwight, just let me say one statement at the end. I'm not talking about the rights of no parents, and I'm talking about the right of the man or the woman. I'm talking about the right of the child. And so that child, you remember the legal document you have? If you have shared custody at birth, there is no need for the legal document because that is the very birth of a child between a man and a woman is the legal document. But we should have a talk about this one day, Dwight. But I want to talk about Grand Bahama, right? Because here it is 3 years in. And we could very easily say that 50% of the population is unemployed or underemployed. Secondly, we have $2 billion worth of projects for which you could very easily say less than 300 million of those projects happened in the last 3 years. These were all things on the board or expansion of existing industries. But what happens then is that, remember, we came out of Dorian and then COVID. This is Grand Bahama and by extension Abaco. What has happened to create an economy to allow these thousands of individuals, 2004, Dwight, but I talked from 2019 and 2004, who've had homes that have had tarp on it for 20 years. We have a city in decay and people in distress. There has been no economic strategy expressed by this administration in its last 3 years, in spite of the promises made on the campaign trail and in the blueprint for change. Yes, we need the hotel. Yes, we need the hotel because they become anchor projects in the rebuilding and revitalization of this economy. But we have not had a minister for Grand Bahama speak to what strategies it is for revitalize this economy so people could rebuild their homes, they could rebuild their lives. People could come back to Grand Bahama because we are losing our population. The power company is saying that they need to raise the energy cost because the number of customers is not sufficient to sustain the current cost model. That means that you have people, if you have 30,000 people that normally be on the power grid and they now have 18, that means that 12,000 people has disappeared. Dwight, this island, and the government of the Bahamas and Mr. Prime Minister, since he has assumed the role as the Minister for Investments because of the failure of his Deputy Prime Minister, the Prime Minister should speak more to what's now, what's new, and what's next.
So what are you all going to do? What is Grand Bahama going to do? Because
it requires policies, legislation, policies, procedures, processes, etc.
And who's prepared to do that?
The government has to be prepared to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're for.
Okay. And if they're not, and we've had successive administrations that
no,
not
I'm
be
saying
prepared.
if they're not, No, I'm saying to you, you know what? We have, but in successive administration, but we also have a new Bahamian. We have 60% of the population that has come of age and has a high expectation. The previous administration before the PLP one had an excuse of Dorian, of 2 hurricanes and COVID. This one has done nothing from day one but brag about the wonderful turnaround they did of the economy. I can tell you, Grandpa ain't feeling it, don't know about it, and we listen to the news, and everybody talks about us, and we sit around on Grand Bahama saying, is there another Grand Bahama? Is there another Freeport? Is there another Abaco? Because surely those people in New Providence who is talking about these wonderful things can't be talking about us. That's why I say, great, thank you, Mr. The Leader of Opposition. Now the conversation could begin on what's now, what's new, what's next. You should maybe listen to a conversation that he had in the Rotary that didn't go in the newspaper. We want that conversation concerning what do we do about Grand Bahama? Because Grand Bahamians can rebuild Grand Bahama if government and by extension the Grand Bahama Port Authority either come together or get it our way.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot. You mentioned the previous administration, but I mean the hurricane was 3 years in as well, and 3 years there was little to show for anything special happening there. So it just doesn't work. Something is wrong. I keep telling you what the answer is, but nobody there wants to say this. There are 2 or 3 people who say it. A call for greater autonomy and fixing that port. That can't continue like that. That needs to be a truly municipal government where people are elected directly to those positions, not family appointed, not picked by somebody out of, a hat. I don't know how they determine. But that can't continue. That's not how you run a city. That's not how you run an island. Not this way. But not the central government. So none of these on the table right now are the answer. But it will continue with these silly back and forth conversations and nothing happening and surprises, the disappointment that will continue for decades to come until we get serious and realize all around us, all over the world, there are models on how to run cities and to run islands or states, whatever you want to call them. We see them.
I mean, you keep saying that as if the expectation that we want a transparent government. Obviously, corruption and dysfunction are the order of the day, and that's okay. So, I mean, how do you have corruption and transparency?
Well, I didn't say anything about corruption. I don't know about corruption, but I'm just saying that the model will not encourage the growth.
Correct.
That you say you require. It's not going to encourage any type of creative thinking outside the box. Not going to happen. But carry on smartly if this is what you like. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning, DeGrasse.
Good morning.
Yes. Hey, Dwight, DeGrasse. Welcome to the status quo nation of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, right? Where we only do the things that we only know how to do, and we are not interested in doing nothing that is possible to be done, right? That's what that administration what we had over the last 50 years, right? Right, some of the things what we face in this country, it only takes for our governments would run in our country, the status quo administrations, right? To really to do more or go to work and really do work, right? Rather than going to work and wanting people to do their work like our leaders operate in this country, right? We elect them, but they want us to do their work. They want us to come up with conclusion on how we can rectify and change situations in the country that they supposed to be running, right? But Dwight, when it comes, this is just my opinion, right? The vicious cycle we have in this country with men, right, and not being able to stand up most of the time, right? It's because most of the times they was brought up by women. They was brought up by women who don't have no clue or understanding on how to discipline or rear a boy. Now, some women did it, but the vast majority of women don't. They just don't know how to do that. So when a woman is allowed to emotionally grow up a boy, right? That boy now is filled with emotions to go look for a family, and when and it ain't gonna be the same, right? And I mean, and the thing about it, statistic has proven that women don't grow up children better than men. But because of the system knows that, like, if we encourage this, what we're seeing is what we can continue to see, because it's a vicious cycle. Most of the time, not all of the times, most of the times when boys grow up by women, they don't grow up to respect women. That's just the bottom line, right? And when we have, and this is why we have so much. This is why we have so much children. I mean, homes where don't have no fathers, because it started that way, right? Daddy leave mommy, I leave my wife, my child leave, and it goes on and on and on, because why? It's a vicious cycle. We have to find a way in this country, right, collectively, right, to remedy this situation, right? Because we can't keep giving the impression that women are better in rearing children than men, right? Children need both parents, and when we can send messages that they only need one, or we only should cater to one, right? That will and always would keep the problem what we face in mind. We have to integrate both parents and make both parents liable for the child they bring inside the world, and not just one parent. Guys, have a nice day.
Okay. All right. I hear you. I mean, these type of conversations make you believe that the kids raised by both parents are perfect, doing all the one. That is not the case either. So it's not just your presence. You mean you got to be, instilling something, right? I mean, I suspect a lot of people. Well, not everybody, I bet, but a lot of people would say no daddy is better than bad daddy. No?
I think it's just such a mix-up pool of how people react to the absence of one parent or the other. Like, there are some people who would grow up without a dad, who had, a mom that paid attention and was nurturing and all that sort of stuff, and they may be okay. They may wonder what happened. And then you may have another person in that same situation who may end up with daddy issues, or why my daddy didn't want me, or why I didn't know my daddy, or why my mommy keep my daddy from me. It's just not, a one approach. Like, there are going to be so many multiple different ways that people respond to the absence of an active parent, whether mom or dad, because some dads are raising kids on their moms. So.
Wow. Okay, so let's take this call really quickly, and then I want to read these messages before we have to take a break here. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Good. 1 second. Yeah, morning, Dwight Muscataway.
Dean. DeQuesta
Hello?
Dean. DeQuesta, yes, Dean.
Morning, Dwight Muscataway.
No, DeQuesta today. DeQuesta Dean.
Hey, Dwight, Mr. Wright has some point, right? But as far as women bringing up the children, or mothers bringing up sons, all of that is incorrect, because, my father went on the contract, and my mom brought up all of us, okay? And none of us got into trouble, okay? And she had 5 boys and 5 girls, okay? Everybody stayed out of the court, and everybody did quite well. So that part of Mr. Wright, that ain't correct. But Dwight, another question. Are you going to talk about the honors later?
No, we mentioned it already.
What's the criteria?
Yes.
I didn't call. I didn't, janitors called, and those janitors were keeping all those bathrooms clean all the years that everyone went to school, even the politicians, the magistrate, everybody. Seems as though when it comes around to the honorary, seems as though what they do is they send a list around to all government departments, and they say, give us the names and the title of persons who've worked here over the years and they've retired and held senior positions, Because many of them seem as though, they spend this year as a 2 year, this year in the government, but not many common persons, I mean, I work with many persons, Dwight, from the hospitality industry who will spend more than 30 years, teaching and grooming person in the hospitality industry, I have heard none of them called, Me personally, Dwight, I remember for 3 years, 1984 and 85, I carried the Bahamas flag at Commonwealth Day in London, and I have never been to government for the meatballs, So what it take? Now, so what's the criteria for these honorees? I see even my cousin Charles West, who just became assistant commissioner, he was honored, the prison commissioner, right? I mean, who actually can't manage the prison because so many persons were detained, unlawfully. The country had to pay so much money out because of unlawful detainment. But he also get on it. So what is the criteria? I mean, I think inquiring minds would like to know. Thank you very much, Dwight. Have a good day.
Oh boy, I feel like some bombs have been dropped. Okay. Well, I'll look for the list. What the criteria is. Now, you were saying that earlier, DeQuest, you wanted to know what some of the folks did, which I remember when it came out around independence, we were all asking the same question. So, boy. Okay, this texter says, a previous caller, ask him how many male children he's adopted to help, since this is a problem that I think they mean that to everybody. All, right? So, voluntary time.
Yeah.
Geek. This person says, here's a text. It's a disgrace what's happening on Grand Bahama. The Minister of Grand Bahama went on a show to say how business is booming in Grand Bahama. An outright lie. Things have never been so rough. Nothing happening. Please come to Grand Bahama for a week and see what's really going on. From Carnival to the shipyard to the airport, nothing's happening on the ground.
Wow.
Well, I mean, the Carnival and the shipyard, those are recent developments. I mean, they're going to take a while. They're not. But I hear you. Are those who were honored yesterday national heroes, or is that a separate honor or a list for that? No, these are national heroes, yeah.
Oh, They are?
Yeah, what did you think it was?
Oh, I just thought it was awards, like just awards for giving awards.
I mean, you mean technically, like, okay, well, people got different titles. Like Kate was named National Hero. But yeah, it's all part of the National Heroes Day. Nah, don't know. I can't. Sure. Anyway, but nothing less than what is it saying here? The only surprise is that the FNM still speaks. They control the pack and do nothing. They can agitate and bring more awareness to alternatives, but do nothing but selectively complain. Everyone knows Grand Bahama can do like Cat Island. Promises made to every island and no party fulfills them. What's new? Well, nothing less than what is going on is to be expected, so no surprises here. Well, I mean, I just told you, this will continue. This will always be the way things are done because of this very unusual system we have here. It won't get any better, right? It won't.
Yeah.
This person says here, it's 2024 and not a darn thing happening in Freeport. A big disappointment in the New Day government. The hardship in Grand Bahama from east to west is hard to stomach. The minister of Grand Bahama League doing more damage than good. Well, I mean, what is the role of the minister of Grand Bahama? What is the role? What can they do? What is it?
Yeah, good question.
I keep saying if it was so big a position, all the islands would have ministers. Which doesn't happen. So, right, there are 5 MPs and a minister, and yet. Yeah, and yet. This person says, I am a father with 2 children. I only see if I happen to see them in the street somewhere. What? The mother refuses to give me access to them. Oh, okay. I only see my children if I happen to see them in the street somewhere. Wow. The mother refuses to give me access to them. I've been to the courts, and I was told I can't even bring her to court for access unless she something. Unless I guess she's suing, unless she sues you for maintenance, something like that. I have another friend who was told the same thing. The caller is giving possibly help, and you are acting like a bully instead of listening to understand. No, I do not understand. What are you saying? You want the government to mandate this? Is that what you're saying? Because I think if you had an agreement from day one, a legally binding agreement, I don't think you'd have this issue. So do you understand what he said? He just said, that was just words there.
No.
To me.
So what he's saying is that he can't go to the court to get access to his kid?
That's what he's saying. The texter, yeah.
Oh. Is that correct? Can someone text us or call us to let us know if fathers have the right to do that? Because
the mothers. Mm-hmm. To prevent them.
To get access to their kids.
The texter goes on and says, what happens when two parents can't agree? The Child Protection Act was updated to give a single father rights, but the lower courts are sending people to the Supreme Court for a resolution. This texter says, these men who don't want to stay in the picture, single moms. I know many women who use the courts to get full custody of the child. I want you to check out the boys that go to the shock treatment program. All their fathers were out of the picture.
Wow. I actually saw a post on social media this weekend that made me really pause, and it was a mom saying that she raising her 3 boys, and she is teaching them not to give women any money because they're not a bank. And I stopped for a moment because I'm like, are you teaching them to be careful with how they distribute their funds, considering men are supposed to be the head and the provider of the home? Like, how are you relaying that message? What are you bringing them up to think? Like, what are you bringing them up to see women as? And is that because you were that type of woman just taking money from men that you don't want your sons to be like in that same position? Like, I had so many questions, Dwight. Like, why would you even make a statement like that?
Yeah, wow. This text, as we go to the break, got a whole lot of these coming in. I would like the MPs to do what they've laws for our benefit as opposed to laws to tax the lifeblood out of us or legalize spying on us for non-criminal activities, possibly to determine what brand and color underwear we've bought. I would like to see a new noise ordinance that completely outlaws bass speakers in residential neighborhoods. Oh, I love it, but don't hold your breath. And fines both the DJ and the homeowner $500 per quarter hour for violations. Wow. There is no need for use of a speaker system on a 100 by 100 property that can be heard 5 miles away. Secondly, no construction in residential neighborhoods on Sundays and weekends. There's enough misery in this economy. We do not need these easily resolved additional irritants. That's wonderful stuff. I tell you now, most of those cities deal with that. And city managers, mayors, and councils, and in this place, you can't do that. You might be able to do that in that place over there, but not here, right? That's how that works. We don't have it. Good luck. These people will say that's what we've got bigger things to do with. Let's take a break. A whole lot to talk about, as you see, on this Tuesday morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Nobody gon' watch me if I can't bother like sweat. On your market set, strong but I ain't missing a step. Mind if you ain't feel the vibe, then stay over there by yourself. When Reagan's great return, I gonna dance, I gonna sing, I gonna wave my flag. When Reagan's great return, I gonna drink all the rum, I can get on by. When Reagan's
It's time for your first look at traffic for the morning, brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. In the real-time traffic, we're seeing some heavy traffic on Prince Charles Drive, straight into Robinson Road, just west of Fox Hill through Beatrice Avenue, then on the way to Soldier Road. As we said, into Robinson on the way to Marathon East-West Highway. Eastern Road also looking busy for you this morning, westbound, from east of Fox Hill to about Johnson Road. Also seeing some heavy traffic on Independence Road, Blue Hill Road, busy for you as well near St. Vincent, and especially near Carmichael. Carmichael backed up quite a bit eastbound to Blue Hill Road. And from there, Blue Hill is busy straight up to Independence Drive, northbound. Milo Butler Highway, as usual, heavy traffic from just south of the Fire Trail roundabout all the way to Tawny Williams Darling Highway in the northbound lanes. Those are your hot spots right now. We'll have another update for you in just a bit. That's your Morning Blend traffic brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
Are you seeking exceptional health care beyond the traditional hospital setting? Introducing Doctors Hospital Clinics, your trusted destination for comprehensive care. Our full-service locations provide affordable services through our Loyalty Advantage membership program and NHI. Experience seamless care with our integrated health system, where your medical history travels with you, ensuring continuity of care. Book an appointment today at clinics.doctorshosp.com. We make primary care easy.
Legacy of Leadership. Join the International Third World Leadership Association in partnership with the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation for Legacy Weekend, celebrating the legacy of Dr. Miles Monroe and other visionary leaders. November 8th to the 9th, experience 3 powerful events. ITWLA hosts Legacy Leadership Lectures, honoring distinguished global leaders. November 9th, the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation presents Legacy Walk to Remember, 5K and 10K routes along West Bay Streets, Nassau, Bahamas. Then join us for the Legacy Reunion Concert, featuring Grammy-winning gospel artist Yolanda Adams and Sherwin Gardner at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center.
Hey guys, it's Yolanda Adams. It's about to be a celebration November 8th through the 10th at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. I can't wait to see you. Come on.
Visit ITWLA.com for details. Don't miss Legacy Weekend.
This October, Dunkin' Donuts is brewing more than just coffee. We're brewing strength because we're stronger together. Donate at any Dunkin' location to support breast cancer awareness, and we'll match every dollar you give. Together, we're making a real difference for the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group. Sip, smile, support. When we stand together, we're stronger together because the Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
This is Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Radio text line powered by BTC 4224796. Standard text rate supply. And now at 8:18, it's time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints got you covered for all of your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. And in your weather for today, we've got surface troughing that's going to support pockets of shower activity across portions of the northwest, central, and southeast Bahamas. Meanwhile, weak ridging will maintain light to moderate breezes over the islands. And a cold front is expected to move into the northwest Bahamas and northern islands on Wednesday and further increase the likelihood of showers. There's potential for funnel cloud and waterspout activity, and residents can expect flooding, localized flooding in low-lying and flood-prone areas during heavy and prolonged rainfall. So for today, for the northern Bahamas, including Grand Bahama, partly sunny, turning partly cloudy tonight. Pretty much the same for the rest of the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence, partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight. And for the central islands, similar, partly cloudy to cloudy through tonight, but partly periods and partly cloudy tonight for the southeast Bahamas. We're looking at temperatures around 89 Fahrenheit, 31 Celsius, getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius tonight. In your extended outlook for tomorrow, Wednesday, partly sunny with occasional cloudy periods in the northern and southeast Bahamas, variably cloudy in the northwest and central islands. For Thursday, variably cloudy across all areas, and Friday, partly sunny with occasional cloudy periods in the northern Bahamas, partly cloudy to cloudy in the northwest, central, and southeast Bahamas. For Saturday, partly cloudy to cloudy across all areas. In the tropics, we are watching a couple of areas. A well-defined area of low pressure over the central tropical Atlantic producing occasional showers and thunderstorms. This system is forecast to move generally westward, and environmental conditions are expected to become more favorable for the gradual development of this system by the middle to latter part of the week. The system has about a 60% chance of showers 7 days. Then there is a broad area of low pressure that could develop over the southwestern Caribbean Sea by the middle of the week. Some gradual development is possible as the system stays over the water while it moves slowly westward toward Central America. The system has a low chance, about 20% chance for formation through the next 7 days. But the system we told you about in the central tropical Atlantic is one we need to keep an eye on here in the Bahamas. More on that over the next few days. That is your morning blend weather check. Weather check also brought to you by Easy Car Sales. Easy Car Sales invites you to visit the Bahamas Motor Dealer Association car show at the Mall Marathon this Friday and Saturday. See the new all-electric 2025 models and make a deal on the last 2024s while they last. Get discounts, rebates, and more this weekend at the Mall Marathon. And it's time for another check of traffic brought to you by RBC. Find your loan solution with RBC. And in your traffic alert, the Ministry of Works says it's going to start aggressively addressing concerns about potholes. And they want you to report potholes or take a photo. Do a call 376-0936 or text your pothole to that number, 376-0936 for pothole patching. In your real-time traffic, things looking busy still on Prince Charles Drive. Heavy traffic if you're heading westbound, especially as you get closer to Beatrice Avenue, straight through to Robinson Road all the way at Mall Marathon. So that's East-West Highway Marathon Road. It's going to be busy and slow moving for you there. Eastern Road also busy for you. Heavy just east of Fox Hill westbound to about Johnson Road. Then we've got East Street and Blue Hill Road, both of them looking busy for you, northbound mainly. East Street as you get closer to Soldier Road, but it's going to be a slow commute there. Even busier on Blue Hill, north of St. Vincent, as you pass Carmichael and on the way to Independence Drive, which is busy itself, westbound mainly. Back to Blue Hill near Carmichael. Carmichael is busy, slow-moving eastbound traffic. And a bit of congestion and slow-moving traffic westbound on the other end of Carmichael all the way out to Coral Harbor Road. Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic well south of Fire Trail straight up to Tonic Williams-Darrell Highway. And on West Bay Street, you're going to be seeing some slow-moving eastbound traffic near Saunders Beach and New Providence Highway. And as you get into downtown near Nassau Street. Those are your hotspots right now. That's your real-time traffic and your Morning Blend traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Start a conversation at rbc.com/loan/all of you.
The Anchor Awards are just around the corner, and we're celebrating our amazing fishers. Want to be a part of the fun? Grab your tickets now at ticketflare.com/Anchor Awards. Tickets are just $60 and it's just click buy tickets, choose how many you want, and boom, your QR codes get sent straight to your inbox. All you got to do now is dress up, show up, and let us scan you in. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today. Let's honor our Legends of the Sea on November 16th at the Bahama Resort Convention Center.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store
and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we could sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range. Bahamas. Find color in every day.
Are you looking to save for a big purchase or occasion? Do you want your money to start making money for you? Well, let me introduce myself. My name is Bond, the Bahamas Government Savings Bond. I am guaranteed to earn interest on your money with terms ranging from 1 to 6 years. Government savings bonds are available to all Bahamians, and for as little as $100, you can start to save for your future. The Bahamas Government Savings Bond, a safe investment guaranteed. Check out the Central Bank of the Bahamas website for details.
Hosted PBX Systems is an ideal solution for businesses seeking to maintain strong connections with your team and your vendors with flexibility, efficiency, and cost effectiveness. Hosted PBX service offers a budget-friendly alternative to traditional phone systems. Flexible, affordable, efficient hosted PBX systems from a live business. Call us today for more details. 601-8911 in Nassau and 8811 in the Family Islands.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strong on Duquesa Dean. All right, so Duquesa we've been talking about quite a bit so far this morning. We mentioned the heroes, and that got a debate going about the qualifications there. And we've been talking about Grand Bahama and the lack of things happening there. And, of course, crime with the latest murder in Grand Bahama. People talking about parents and single moms getting the blame today. Well, this is a text about parenting. This person says the problem with the Bahamian society started with the parents in their 70s. Their 70s or the 70s. They taught us to be independent and to love money and use their networks to not let us face consequences. Ooh, we were not taught to love one another just to get money. What? Then we, as the parents in our 50s, have created another generation of children who really don't care about anything. Our children do what they want and don't have to face consequences until it's too late. I don't say it often, but we are all the problem. It's the outside influence in movies and music that have influenced us. We allow everything in the Bahamas, unfortunately, and we would never fix it until the outside influences are banned. Wow. Yeah. Do you agree with that?
Agree.
Yeah.
We've been saying that. I agree. I mean, it's something that we've been saying. We're all the problem.
Well, that part. But the materialism, is it the parents are enforcing, I guess, with some. I mean, okay. Some people, I mean, you think it's like the majority?
I don't know if it's the majority. I know that some people only want name brands for their kids or think things are a replacement for time. So some people are in a position where they just working to provide. They don't have time to spend with their kids. And so, I think it's just like a lot of variables.
Wow. Couple messages here. This person says that these men who keep commenting on the results of single mothers on men are missing the point. How about dig into why this problem exists and their role in it? No one is under the illusion that any single parent is better for society, though. Okay. Another one, tell men to be careful of who they have children with. They so like to tell women that, though. Okay. This person says here, Dwight, I spilled my coffee. Certainly not every kid raised by two parents is a model citizen, but statistics clearly show that it's the ones raised by a single parent, not casting any aspersions, but they are locked up for really serious crimes. Okay. This person says here, seriously, people are too comfortable running the traffic light. I think that's a $500 ticket. Where are the police? Oh. Okay. This one says here, I'm sure Kate Moss is smiling from the graves. John Dunn, a slave from Cat Island who planted corn, will be honored next year. Discovery Day, LOL. I don't understand what your text is all about. What is this? What are you saying? Okay. Ah, boy, every part. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Anyway, our MPs are like zombies in Parliament. What does that mean? Nothing's happening on Crooked Island, Actons, and Long Key. They only know us when it's time to vote. Wow. And another text here. Try to imagine being a married single mother that was abandoned, then raised all the kids alone while your disgusting husband partied and did whatever he wanted for 20 years. Then later, when the kids are like 14 and 23, he comes back in their life and starts telling you how to raise them and influencing them with bad behavior, I guess they're saying. Wow, that's rough. And this person says here, Dwight, the state of Florida and dozens of other states also have mandatory shared custody agreements upon establishment of paternity. Okay. Well, let's do it. There's a whole bunch of men in Parliament. They could easily push that one through. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Hi.
Yes, good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Oh, this is FM leader Michael Pintard. Hi, good morning. Yes.
And to your co-host, and good morning, Bahamas.
Hi, thank you for calling in.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, we've been talking about Grand Bahama. Lots of people upset that very little has happened.
Dwight, sorry, when I got off the flight, I just heard your initial comments and just wanted to withstand the cynicism and the frustration of persons in Grand Bahama and really Bahamians in general with the establishment, and that is all of the political parties in terms of what has been delivered on some of the legacy issues. In terms of Grand Bahama, I'm really encouraging people to keep the faith and do not believe for a moment that a new administration is unable to make a difference. I thought the PLP had an opportunity when they came to office, given their observation of any missteps we made, that they would have been able to take a different tack in some cases, and in other cases build on what was left behind. So in the case of the hotel, they were relentless in pointing out how they would have negotiated the deals differently and how it was possible in the open market to attract persons with deep pockets whose vision tied in with the government's vision for tourism development in Grand Bahama. They have certainly had more time from 2021 to 2024, roughly 3 years, in order to court various buyers. And it isn't as if they did not come in having met in place a short list of potential hotel purchasers and developers. They had an opportunity then to explore those names as well as any new names that may have come to the table. But I think what they found out is that many potential investors are seeking tremendous concessions in order to do business in the Bahamas. And for whatever other reasons, they have not been able to close the deals. All we have said to them is there are stakeholders, other stakeholders in Grand Bahama who have relationships as well. That is those industrial companies, the Chamber of Commerce, licensees of the port, all have contacts of their own. And so the government should do a better job than we did in terms of having dialogue with all relevant stakeholders to follow prospective buyers that others may also be in contact with. And so it appears as if they have not learned very much from any of the past administrations, but instead they came in quite arrogant and have not been able to deliver and have made a series of false announcements about a sale having been executed on more than one occasion, beginning first with the Deputy Prime Minister. The Prime Minister sidelined him, and he himself is taking charge of this process.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he's not been able to make progress. And it's been no different with respect to the airport. If you'd recall, Dwight, we took all of the land that the government owned, not just in Grand Bahama, but elsewhere, and we put it into a special purpose vehicle. So that if we're going to enter into a public-private partnership, we were the bona fide owners of that real estate, and then we determined what formula we're going to use. We had a study conducted by an independent company that looked at airports throughout the Bahamas, small, medium, large, and we had a good sense of what it would cost in each case in order to again construct or refurbish those airports. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to summarize it to fast forward now to say that the government's approach is dramatically different than ours. Having met an independent study in place, the government has not just in Grand Bahama but elsewhere looked at public-private partnerships. But Dwight, what is a mystery to us is the kinds of figures the government has come up with for small, medium, and large airports. We don't know what formula they're following. We certainly have not seen an independent assessment of what it would take to transform or improve a small, medium. If you would recall, in Grand Bahama, the Prime Minister first talked about $400 million as the price tag. He then revised the figure down dramatically and revised it again. So we are at a loss in terms of what the government's approach is with the Grand Bahama Airport. It's moved from the private partner bringing in the resources to the government taking out a loan and simply having a management company run it and a consortium of private contractors coming up with some funds and the government coming up with the rest. Mm-hmm. So we don't have clarity on the formula. We've heard who the contractors are. We don't have any fundamental problem with them. We heard who the operator may be, the Manchester Group, with a sterling reputation of being one of the major operators in Europe in general, but London or Great Britain in particular. But we can't seem to get the project moving, and we have no sensible explanation on what hinders the government. And so we don't think it's unreasonable to ask what is theory on what the challenge is, but they refuse to give an answer, and their only deflection is to criticize the FNM. Well, that version of the FNM is gone, and we're out of office because the public was not pleased with certain things.
All right, we only have about...
But that does not rob us of the ability to critique what you are doing.
We only have about 30 seconds left. Is there anything the opposition can do? Is it just left up to asking for the information? Is that all that you can do at this point?
No, we pointed out some things they should do. For all of these airports, they need an independent assessor. This is a major problem this administration has. It's talking about the glass window bridge. Let us know which independent assessor has come up with a report that included the views of a quantity surveyor who then says, based on the scope of work, we could explain why the figures have ballooned in such a massive way. The same principle applies to these airports because the government, unfortunately, is coming up with these astronomical figures for transforming the people's assets. But the figures differ dramatically from what existed 3 years ago. Is that the cost of living increase that we are experiencing, or is it something else? We believe it is something else.
Okay, all right. Michael Pintar, we have a lot to talk with you. We keep saying this, but we're going to set up a date.
Once you
so
get
we
the
can have you
invitation, I'd
on.
be more than interested in coming.
Lots to talk about with Grand Bahama, definitely. Thank you for calling in. Appreciate that. All right, so that's more on his statement that's in the paper today on that. But we're all waiting. We're all waiting to get the answers there. Let's take this call really quickly. I want to read these messages before we go to a break. Good morning. Caller on the air.
Hello, good morning, Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
And good morning to Cresta, right?
Yes.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Listen, I'm calling in reference to something someone else said earlier about being raised by a single parent. And then another someone was saying that they can't get access through the courts to their kids. But that's not true, because I had a family member, a female, that was taken to court by the baby daddy. And the only thing the court did was made him pay child support, and he had access to his child. Now, if you're trying to avoid paying child support, that would be the only reason why you won't get access to your child. She had to give him access because the court said so. You understand? So he can, if he's listening to mother to court, he will get access through the court. The only thing is the court will make him pay child support if the child is fully living with her. That's the only thing. So he can do it. And I was raised with 5 boys by a single female, and they, just like the gentleman, all turned out to be well-behaved and very educated young men who is doing very well in society today.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Some messages here. This is, I guess, the texter, the sarcastic text about Kate, who is now a national hero. The texters are saying that any Tom, Dick, Harry, or Sue can get a national honor but never made a real meaningful contribution to the country. Well, I mean, that would be very unfair to say that. I mean, she sacrificed her life and started a movement that helped to end slavery. So that's a really myopic way of looking at this. And maybe you need to do some more research and read some more, if that's what that texter was saying. Right? And maybe slaves who sacrificed their lives would be in a much better place than some of the people we are choosing to honor. But, All right. This person says here, oh boy. Mitchell asked, what do you want the government to do? I say fix the problems or call an election, and we, the voters, will fix it. Privilege comes with responsibility. Okay. Pintard, all I get from you is blah, blah, blah. What are all these parties doing when they're in opposition? We are tired of all of you all. Okay. Oh, well, boy. Minister Moxie had success with, no. Wow. Okay. Not, no. Boy. These text messages getting... Tell C. Allen is correct. If the government can mandate shared custody, then no matter if the two can't agree, the child will still be taken care of by the two parents.
Y'all keep saying that. Y'all keep saying that. Like, yes, they go to court. Yes, there's an agreement, but that agreement still has to be honored. There are people that from a single mom. She was married, she got divorced, they went to court, they got the agreement, and the husband never paid a single dollar to help with the kids, even though there was an agreement. Mm-hmm. So yes, you can go to court. Yes, you can get an agreement, but you have to have an honorable partner who is going to live up to the conditions of that agreement. Mm. Both people have to be mature and honorable and live up to what the agreement says.
Wow. We're going to leave it there. We got to go to a break. When we come back, we're changing gears. We're talking with the University of the Bahamas. Homecoming is coming up, so we'll get all the details about that. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
You got a lot of nerve, don't you, baby? I only hit the curb 'cause you made me. You're telling all your friends that I'm crazy, like I'm the only one. Why'd you throw them stones if you had a wild hell you wanted to? Living in your big glass house.
living with a neurological condition shouldn't define you. At Cleveland Clinic in Florida, we do whatever it takes to make life better today while discovering new treatments for a brighter tomorrow. From epilepsy management to specialized spine care and brain tumor surgery, we're delivering world-class neurology care for the day-to-day, for the days you live for every care in the world. Visit clevelandclinicflorida.org/Caribbean.
Oh, what fun! The most wonderful time of year is almost here. If you're dreaming of a car, new home, land, travel abroad, or big gifts to share, CIBC Caribbean will help you get your wish list prepared. Start early. Apply now for a loan online at CIBCFCIB.com. Conditions apply.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
At Wendy's, we are different. We don't just use beef. It's fresh, never frozen. Our burgers are square because we never cut corners. Served hot off the grill with fresh lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and American cheese. We believe in fast food done right. Always serving fresh, never frozen beef. Order a hot, juicy Dave single, double, or triple. Made with fresh, never frozen beef. Now only at Wendy's. Different inside and out.
The Anchor Awards are just around the corner and we're celebrating our amazing fishers. Want to be a part of the fun? Grab your tickets now at ticketflare.com/Anchor Awards. Tickets are just $60 and it's super easy to purchase. Click Buy Tickets, choose how many you want, and boom, your QR codes get sent straight to your inbox. All you got to do now is dress up, show up, and let us scan you in. Don't miss out. Get your tickets today. Let's honor our Legends of the Sea on November 16th at the Bahama Resort Convention Center.
A legacy of leadership. Join the International Third World Leadership Association in partnership with the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation for Dr. Miles Monroe and other visionary leaders. November 8th to the 9th, experience 3 powerful events. ITWLA hosts Legacy Leadership Lectures, honoring distinguished global leaders. November 9th, the Miles and Ruth Monroe Foundation presents Legacy Walk to Remember, 5K and 10K routes along West Bay Streets, Nassau, Bahamas. Then join us for the Legacy Reunion Concert, featuring Grammy-winning gospel artist Yolanda Adams and Sherwin Gardner at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center.
Hey guys, it's Yolanda Adams. It's about to be a celebration November 8th through the 10th at the Miles E. Monroe Diplomat Center. I can't wait to see you. Come on.
Visit ITWLA.com for details. Don't miss Legacy Weekend.
Back to the island, boy. Let's go. Wake up early one morning, kiss my mama goodbye. Going back to the island, I say, don't worry, mama, don't cry.
I'll be leaving on the island sailboat. I sure hope she's still able. So this evening round 5 o'clock, I'll stand at her bow and see the dock. Out in the field from dawn till dusk, swimming in the blue pool is a must. That island where I was born, the first thing I'll do is roast some corn.
Wake up early one morning, kiss my mama goodbye. Going back to the island, I say, don't worry, mama, don't cry.
Outside in the iron pot, though young when I learned, I haven't forgot how to catch them black crab as they walking. Old folks smoking pipe and talking. Saturday night we're gonna dance a bell and do the gombe. People, don't you understand? I live like a king and be a happy man.
Wake up early one morning, kiss my mama goodbye. Going back to the island, I say, don't worry, mama, don't cry.
Welcome back to Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. And
The staff put Gatorade next to it.
Okay, there we go. And we're changing gears. University of the Bahamas homecoming. It's coming up just a few weeks away. Here to tell us all about this, we've got a full house. We've got Director of Alumni Affairs, Alvaro Thompson. We've got Assistant Vice President of Business Enterprise, Atalia Cash. And from the Homecoming Committee and newly elected President of Alumni Association, we've got our friend Aisha Tillis with us.
Hi.
Good morning. Great to have you all with us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend.
Thank you.
All right, so homecoming. Let's talk about it. How big is homecoming, and what do people need to keep in mind?
Well, I would say it's huge. We're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the University of the Bahamas, so this isn't just any homecoming. So it's really exciting. We have a little over a week of events planned from the 1st to the 10th, and then we have the big shebang, December 7th.
Yes.
Which is the President's Soiree and Alumni Award. So it's a pretty big deal.
So it sounds like it's going into another month even. So this is very... So let's talk about some of those things. Alvaro, I guess you can talk about that, the awards and the alumni and what you're going to be doing for this year.
Yes, thank you, and good morning, Bahamas. Yes, we're really excited to be able to share with our Bahamian community, our UB donors and our UB alums, all of the activities for this homecoming as well as our 50th anniversary. The University of the Bahamas, we're celebrating our 50th Jubilee this year. And so with that, we do plan on having a very big President's Soiree and Alumni Awards, which will culminate everything, like Naisha said, on December 7th. This particular event is a fundraiser, and all funds raised will go towards the university's annual fund, which helps our students, faculty, and staff. But the President's Soiree is really, we will also be celebrating 9 UB alums in various categories as we do annually every year. And also, it is a big fundraiser for the university, so there'll be lots of dancing, lots of eating, lots of drinking, and a whole big celebration. But just before that, the month of November, like Nisha said, is our homecoming week of events, and as well as November 11th is the university's Charter Day, which is our Giving Day. So I just want to mention that as well, that November 11th is our UB Giving Day.
Okay, all right. Can you tell us about who's being honored this year?
Yes, so this year we have in the Emerging Leader category, we have Mr. Ashley Knowles and Mr. Alfonso Major. They're both very prestigious young men, and we're happy to have them. Alfonso Major is the Director of Catholic Education, and Mr. Ashley Knowles is Director of
Greek Life and Student Leadership.
Yeah. Trailblazer category, we have Miss, in the Outstanding Alumni category, we have Miss Rutherford Ferguson, and we have, in the Hall of Fame category, we have Mr. Mark Munnings from Deloitte. We have also, we'll be celebrating Ms. Sharon Poitier, who is our...
Get a little closer to the mic.
Oh, sorry. Sharon Poitier, she'll be celebrating our Lifetime Achievement Award. So we have those various categories, various persons in those award categories.
Wonderful. Is it too early to be talking about tickets and how to get tickets or
yes,
when?
Tickets will be going on sale very, very shortly at Chapter 1 Bookstore.
Okay. All right. Wonderful stuff. All right, so let's go through this list of all the exciting things for homecoming, especially that big week there.
Yeah.
And they do kick off in just a couple of weeks.
So we start on the 1st of November with our UB Blue Day. So that's just, in essence, the big party for the university to kick everything off. We have food trucks on campus. We're hoping to have a live remote on campus, food, drinks. It's just a celebration. And we want everyone to be a part of it, faculty, staff, alumni. And that's on the 1st of November. That's a Friday. On the 2nd of November, we have the Alumni Association Disco Party. So we want everybody to come down and let's boogie together with some retro vibes and all of the fun things at this is Courtyard. So the objective is to bring everybody back home, right? We want you to come with your friends. Unfortunately, you can't go under the tree because the tree where you were to, maybe when you were at COB, probably isn't there anymore. But we still want you to come down and have a good time with us. We have a homecoming gospel concert on November 3rd, and we are excited to have a lineup of local artists, and we're working on an international artist as well. Because like I said, it's a celebration, and we want to ensure that we have activities for different alumni based on where they are in their lives, as well as students as well, faculty and staff. We have the Alumni Leadership Series. We have 2 of those happening, one on the 5th and one on the 7th. We have Blue Park Kickback, and this is an opportunity where Greek organizations, undergraduate and graduate chapter, they come and they hang out on the various plots at the University of the Bahamas on November 6th. That's a Wednesday at 4 p.m. until. And then we have the Big Pep Rally, which is Blue Surge Festival. That's on the 7th throughout the day between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And we showcase the starting 5 for the basketball game because, of course, it's homecoming, so there has to be a game.
Yep.
And so we showcase our starting various talents on campus. Hopefully, we can get some alumni to participate in that as well. But all of that leads to our big homecoming game on November 8th at the Kendall G. L. Isaacs Gymnasium. The game starts at 8, but we do have a tailgate that happens prior to the game just to get everyone excited, hyped, ready to go. And after the game, there is a after party that is UB lit. But I can't, talk about homecoming without also talking about UB North, because we do have a campus at UB North as well. And there is a block party happening at UB North on November 8th. That is their homecoming celebration. And unfortunately, we can't be there with them, but next year we will definitely be there with them in celebrating UB North. And on the 9th, we have a campus carnival happening on campus. Also, lots of activities. I can see your face.
What is that?
Unfortunately, think about carnival without the rides, because unfortunately we don't have the rides, right? So we have activities.
That type of carnival.
That type of carnival. Not that type of carnival.
Because I was like, wow.
Not that type of carnival. So carnival without the rides, not the road march kind. Of alumni to come down with their family, their friends. We want them to have a good time. The objective is for them to think about the University of the Bahamas as their home, because it is their home, right? We want them to share their stories of their times at UB or COB with their family and friends, and what better way to do that than to come down with your family and friends. And so we have entertainment, we have games, we have food. We're liking this event, and this is our first event, but we're hoping to do it annually like the International Food Festival. So we want it to be a big event, and it's also a fundraising event for the Alumni Association also, in trying to raise funds to assist the residential campus and students at the residential campus with housing. And later on that night, and that is on November 9th, we have the Greek Step Show. And on the 10th, we have a church service. Thank the Lord for all that he's done for us.
Right. All right, so I got to ask you this. We see that with other universities, homecoming, you get people who graduated decades ago, almost hundreds of years ago. They come back. But are we seeing that with University of the Bahamas? You're getting the buy-in from the students who used to be there, even back when it was COB?
We're getting buy-in, I would say, but it can be even greater engagement. And for us, we're committed to ensuring that we're engaging them through various programs and events and meeting them where they are. It's for us, we are not blind to the fact that we have alumni of different demographics. And so we need to keep that in mind and being able to offer programming for each and every one of them because they're at different stages of their lives. And so for us, we're doing what we can. In some instances, their university experience may not have been what they would have wanted. And so for us, we want to ensure that we elevate that experience with them as alumni, irrespective of what their student experience would have been. And so for us, we're just working to engage them at an even greater capacity. So it's going to get better, and we're excited about those initiatives that we'll be rolling out to make it better for them.
Wow. Okay.
So I hear all of the activities that you're having, and I wanted to know if you have programming, like how you're saying that, people have different backgrounds, that sort of stuff. Do you have like specific programming that would be just for the mature folks? They might want to hang out with just the mature folks, don't want to be worried about, all that other stuff with different generations. Is all of it mixed? Do you have anything special for the older folks?
So the disco party would be one of those, right? We are going to be launching happy hours specifically for the mature crowd with business enterprise. We're going to be launching a run club a book club. So we're trying to launch various activities that would engage our alumni based on their interests. Because like we said, they have different interests, and so we want to engage them where they are. And so you'll be seeing more of that. We're on social media, and we'll be posting all of that on social media, not only through the University of the Bahamas page, but you can also follow the University of the Alumni Association page, as well as the University of Alumni Affairs page.
Natalia, I know you thought you were going to get away without speaking, but what are you most looking forward to with these many events?
To be honest,
let's get your mic up there. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you, Dwight. To be honest, I'm looking forward most to just spending time with the alumni from the University of the Bahamas. Naisha would have mentioned that we are looking to engage with our alumni where they are. And this year, this is probably new to the Homecoming Committee as well. We intend to go into the workplaces. So I would say to all of the listeners, look out for our big blue tent and look out for Blue, our mascot as well, because we're going to be visiting you to help out, to give you more information about what homecoming really is all about, to sell our event tickets, to sell our paraphernalia, and just to ensure that you have a full understanding of exactly what is happening at the University of the Bahamas and why you should come back home.
Wow. Well, great
Yeah,
stuff.
great
Any
stuff.
other objectives for you, Naisha, as new president of the Alumni Association?
Engagement closely with Alvaro Thompson, Director of Alumni Affairs, to engage our alumni. That's one of the biggest things, is engaging them where they are. I feel like with engaging them where they are, they'll be more likely to kind of, know what's happening. They'd be a part of the fold, and so the push would come from them and not necessarily us, because they'd be excited about homecoming happening or any other event happening on campus in ways they can either mentor students, whether they are participating in our business directory, which we'll be launching as well, to kind of highlight alumni that have businesses, or participating in our alumni spotlight, where we already do honor alumni that are doing great things in the community, so they'll know what's happening, and so we just want to engage them. So that's the major objective: engagement.
Okay. Getting an unusual text here.
Okay.
I don't know what this means. After 30 years, I've yet to hear from COB or UB. They need better marketing. I don't know what they mean by hear from, but to folks out there who might be feeling like nobody seems to be checking for me or cares about me, and I went to COB back in the 80s or whatever it was. What do you want to say to those folks to make them feel like homecoming is indeed, this is what Duquesne was asking as well, for them, and that this is the time to come back?
Yes, we just want to say that persons can always contact us at our office. They can contact me personally, Alvaro Thompson, alvaro.thompson@ub.edu.bs, or they can call me at 302-4303. We're always expanding our database, and so if you don't get an email or a phone call or receive mail from us, please contact us and let us know, and we'll add you to our mailing list. But like Naisha said, we have over 22,000 alums from several decades, several generations. So we're always looking for different ways to engage our alums. So if a alumni mixer, or we may have a panel discussion, or we may have an old school disco or dance to, back in the day. So we're always looking for ways to engage our alum. We may have a coffee hour or something like that. So there's a whole gamut of ways that we engage our alums from several different generations. So don't feel left out. Please contact us. Like Natalia said, we are going to businesses. We are going where you work. And so we're always looking to engage persons wherever they are.
Yeah. Wow.
So why is it important for them to participate in the alumni? Like, what is it? What's the benefit for the university? And then, of course, what's the benefit for the individual? Because people really buy benefits, right? So as you speak to them now, like, what is it that they could do that would help build the university in their roles as past students?
Yes, so that's a good question. Yes, the benefit is that they are able to give back to their alma mater, give back to the institution that did so much to them and that pretty much made them who they are today. Also, it helps to inspire our younger generations, our students. Having seen alumni or persons who may have graduated well in the community, doing well in corporate Bahamas, it really helps to inspire our students. So that's the benefit. And so it goes both ways. It's for the alum and for the students.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Naisha, you wanted to?
Sure. I just like to add too, even with activities like homecoming, it strengthens the bond between the institution and alumni. And so the experience doesn't just end after you graduate, right? And so for us, it's about strengthening that experience even after graduation and reinforcing this idea of us being family. And so even with the partnership and the work with Alumni Association and Alumni Affairs, we're working to offer benefits for alumni as well with a membership package at some point, which we'll be launching so that they are able to feel a sense of pride as it relates to being an alumni, not only of UB, but it would be remiss if I don't mention COB, because there are instances where you say UB and they're like, oh, I went to COB. And so they're all a part of this family, right? I see the smile on your face.
That's so strange. But yeah, I'm sure people do feel that way.
That because that actually makes me feel like I can talk about it, and you sell it to me from the perspective of this is your way to help build community. This is your way to help mentor younger people. This is your way of giving back. And for continuity, then my interest is now peaked versus just come out and hang out and have a good time with us. The purpose and impact of it speaks to my heart more. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
Yes, it does.
All right. Let's take this call really quickly. We only have a couple minutes left. But good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. Good morning, my people of COB/UB. I'm a recent person of COB 83-84 season, and I'm very, very impressed with what is being said on this program this morning. I have one very good idea that I would like to see if it can be expanded upon, or maybe you may have considered it, but I haven't heard it as yet. And that is basically a career fair in terms of all those persons who would have attended and really excelled in their particular fields of study to come back to UB and actually have fair, where you're showcasing not just the products and the services that these persons would have in the community or even globally, but also the impact that COB/UB had on them when they were there at that particular campus. And this would also include the Grand Bahama campus. I believe that it would really inspire the generation that is there now and for generations to come that, hey, what persons during their studies can actually accomplish as using UB as the base of their studies, even if they matriculate and they head off to another university in Florida, Canada, or wherever. So it's a very good initiative. I applaud each and every one of you, and I also applaud UB for continuing on to inspire those to help continue nation building. But thanks for taking my call, Dwight. I just wanted to add that in there as a source of inspiration. God bless all.
Okay, all right. So UB, I'm getting messages. So they want everyone to remember that there is the Connect Annual Career Fair coming up on the 17th. But I think what Jeff is saying is that it's a little bit different, like what they do when your dad comes to work and this is my dad, he's a firefighter, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what he's saying, that if the alums could come back, the alumni come back and say, well, look at me, I went to COB, I went to UB, and I am now this, and this can be you too. And so I get that too. So maybe that's okay.
Yeah, there are different ways we can explore that.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
That would be really great inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So one more time, remind folks about homecoming and what they need to know and how they can participate in this.
All right. So we have our homecoming activities slated from the 1st of November to the 10th of November. We have a ton of events. Some of the tickets are already available online on the Chapter 1 website. So you can go ahead and go on the website that is
chapter1books.store.
Start to purchase your tickets there. We do have paraphernalia and merchandise for this year's homecoming theme, which is Mingos Forever. If you have any questions, want to get involved, volunteer, let a helping hand. Because even when we think about giving back to our institution, we always think about funding, but you can also give back in your time and talents as well, which we welcome. And so you can always email homecoming@ub.edu.bs for more information about any of our activities. Look out for our information on the President's Soiree and Alumni Awards. Tickets will be available shortly at Chapter 1 Bookstore. And I'll pass it on to Alvaro as well for any closing words.
Well, are there any bundles before he closes? Are there any packages like purchase?
Yes. Yes, we do have quite a number of packages available. They will be on sale as of next week, Monday, at Chapter One Bookstore. We are partnering with a lot of local companies as well to help us out with this. For instance, our design is done by Bahari for our homecoming T-shirt, etc. But our packages do start as low as $30 and they go up to about $56. So we have something for everyone. Passage into the homecoming activities. So we have everything you need in those packages as well.
Nice. Excellent. Okay. Good stuff.
Yes, and just want to remind people that November 11th is the university's charter date, and we celebrate our Giving Day, so please look out as well. We want all of our alums to be able to give back in some way, some form, some shape.
Good stuff. Looking forward to it. Elvardo Thompson, Natalia Cash, and Naisha, tell us thank you so much for being here with us this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Go Mingos, right?
Go Mingos!
We're going to be back after the news. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
That's why I'm going back home where the cool breeze blows, where the palm trees grow. Going back to the island, man, land of the sea and sea. Back home.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
The views and opinions of the host and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. And this morning it's time for our monthly segment with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. And we're very pleased to have back with us CEO of the Chamber, Dr. Leah Roll. And also this morning, we are joined by Felicia Larimore and Brenton Major with Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies. And we also have from Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, Dr. Elizabeth Darville. So we got a full house this morning. Leo, thank you all for being here. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
All right, so good to have you. All right, so we got a special theme with this session this morning.
Yes.
Dr. Leah Roll. Tell us about it.
So obviously, Dwight, our Chamber Hour is an opportunity not only for the Chamber to talk about initiatives and events that the Chamber is having, but it also gives us an opportunity to allow some of our members a platform. And with this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, how would better fitting platform to provide than those who provide all things medical? Mm-hmm. And so in canvassing our list, we looked at Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies and, of course, Fourth Terrace Diagnostic to provide their outline of all things medical.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wonderful. This is going to be great. All right. So who would like to start us off here? Are we going to start with Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies? Yep. Yeah. All right. All right. So tell us, Felicia, Brenton, tell us more about the company.
So
and get a little closer to that mic there. Yep. Mm-hmm. Brenton?
Yes. Okay. Thank you for having us. So Bahamas Medical is a company that's been around. We're going to be celebrating 25 years in February of 2025. I've been there for about 21 years now, and we have had the opportunity to service not only the Bahamas, but also other Caribbean islands. The name says it all, but I'll elaborate a little further. We sell medical and surgical supplies, but we provide a service like no other company locally, along with the equipment that we sell from the service department perspective, such as the mammogram machine, for example, which we're in Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've been able to partner with companies such as Fort Terrace and other imaging facilities, and sold many mammography systems.
Wow.
Also, we have a retail store on number 9 Fifth Terrace. Thank you. I guess you've been. Have you been inside?
I've been inside, and it's a pleasure driving by it. It's just very, very stunning.
Right. So we've been able to service the wider healthcare community, even the family islands as well. So we do everything as it relates to healthcare, things you may not even think about. We deal with mortuary supplies, dentistry, laboratory. So the list goes on and on. We cater to the everyday customer with wheelchairs, crutches, arm slings, your nutraceuticals, your vitamins. So it's a one-stop shop for everything medical.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So you've been there a long time. You said it. So how's the industry changed in these nearly 25 years?
I think technology is always changing. You buy an iPhone many years ago. It's the same thing with the healthcare industry with respect to equipment. Even with technology, pharmaceuticals, things are constantly changing. So a lot of times persons would purchase equipment many years ago and they forget it in terms of maintenance.
Oh, wow.
And we have a service department that provides installation, the service, the preventative and corrective maintenance. And that's something that was not prevalent many years ago. So we've been able to partner with a number of companies to provide that service to ensure their investment be able to actually have reduced downtime for the equipment.
Yeah.
And Dr. Davel, who's on the call, can attest to that.
Right. I'm curious. I'm curious, though. I mean, how soon do you see equipment becoming obsolete with the changing technology? Is it happening more rapidly now?
Somewhat. The rule of thumb back in the day, and I guess somewhat now, is, I would say, roughly about 10 years. But we have that was installed 21 years ago. That's still up and running.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Now, the technology has definitely changed, and something to do with to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for many years ago would probably be maybe a third or a half of the price now.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
So prices are coming down.
Correct, exactly. Right.
Yeah, wonderful stuff.
As technology is getting better.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's excellent. All right, so what do you all do there specifically?
I'm manager of administration and marketing.
And I'm the executive vice president, as well as I oversee the service department. I started the company as a field service engineer.
Okay. Wow, great stuff. All right, so Dr. Darville, you can talk a bit more about some of those changes you've seen as well with Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center. What can you tell us about your company? You're on mute there, I think. No? Okay, she's logging back in.
I don't know what happened. Something dropped.
Okay, there you are.
Anyway, yes, Brenton. First of all, I need to thank. They really have contributed to our growth, mainly because of their service and, of course, of the wonderful people. But it makes a big difference to have in-country service. There is almost no downtime unless you are actually changing over a major piece of equipment. Thank you, Brenton.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a good point to make. Didn't think about that. Exactly. All right, you can get it right here. Okay, that's fantastic. So tell us more about Fourth Terrace. We hear your ads on the radio. Tell us about your company, Dr. Darville.
Well, our company started 39 years ago, and we have been at Fourth Terrace, and from there we have grown into Carmichael. and our CAT scan branch on Shirley Street. So we have 3 branches now, and we've grown to a staff of 37.
Wow.
We are a full radiology center, and radiology is all that we do. So we haven't taken on any other branch of medicine, and I think it works. It works for us because this is what we do.
Tell us more about that. Why that decision? Why to focus only on that?
Because radiology is a separate branch of medicine. I mean, the surgeon does not. You don't go to your surgeon for coughs and colds. You don't come to your radiologist for coughs and colds. There are some centers that have multidiscipline service. So you would have a surgeon and an internal medicine, et cetera, et cetera. But at Fourth Terrace, we have only radiologists. We have 6 radiologists and full service technicians. I'm an interventional radiologist.
What does that mean? Tell us more about that.
Because I trained in surgery before I trained in radiology, the change over to train in radiology, it was natural to include the interventional modalities. Nowadays, and I'm dating myself, nowadays, interventional radiology is a separate entity. But in those days, it wasn't. You did the interventional things, but there was not a separate training. So the interventional radiologist would do things like biopsies and placing of stents and drainage, a lot of things that the surgeons did but didn't really want to do. Now falls under radiology.
Okay. Right.
And breast cancer month.
Right.
Because, well, not only in October, but we have a full service breast center. So we take our patients from their mammograms to ultrasound if they need, to biopsy, to their surgical appointment, and appointments for things that may be necessary if their biopsy is positive for malignancy. So our patients don't have to be worried about having their arrangements made. And that makes a big difference if somebody has just told you that you had breast cancer.
Well, speaking about breast cancer, and you brought the subject up, and this being Breast Cancer Month, what has the response been like for people with for radiology, for imaging, for the mammograms and ultrasounds and that sort of stuff? What has that response been like?
We have been doing this for many years. We do maybe 100, maybe 120 people every day. Not total
Okay,
patients. Not
okay.
total patients.
100 a day. Okay.
About a little
About.
more, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
That's very impressive.
Of course, our pickup increases in October because the numbers increase. And fortunately, our pickup in October is mostly people who have a very early disease. So that is a big plus. If you can pick up a breast cancer before you can feel it, then this is a curable lesion. And that's what we want. That's why we do mammograms, so that you can find it by mammogram or ultrasound before it is clinically apparent at all.
Yes. Okay. That's great.
Dr. Jarvis, I want to ask you about that. We're hearing a lot about ultrasound versus mammogram, and and what can you explain that to us? And who needs an ultrasound versus a mammogram?
Okay, it isn't versus.
Okay.
It is a mammogram and an ultrasound are complementary. If you have dense breasts, which a lot of Bahamians have, and in general a lot of Black women have, then your mammogram is limited to what mammograms do. Mammograms don't like density, and the more dense your breast is, the more the mammogram doesn't like it. So you get some specific information from a mammogram and the other information from the ultrasound. So if you have dense breasts, you will, for instance, find any abnormal calcifications, which may be a clue to breast cancer, breast thickening, architectural distortion, and the list goes on.
Oh, so you can't skip one and do the other. Like if you
No,
have dense
no,
breasts, you can't go straight to ultrasound.
no.
Mm.
Now, if you are under 30, we reverse the way we do it. We do the mammogram second because your breasts, even though you may be mature at 30, your breasts are not quite. So we do the ultrasound first and then the mammogram if there is something seen on the ultrasound. In younger people who have breast cancer, and we have now 4, 5, 20-something-year-olds with breast cancer this year.
Oh boy.
One is 20, one is 21, and the others are the other three are mid-20s.
Oh, wow.
So it is never too early to check. Don't ever let anybody tell you that you're too young to have a breast study.
Yes.
It is what you use to do the study.
Wow.
Young people often have breast lumps, but those lumps are usually cysts, but they're not always cysts, obviously. So, especially if you have a family history, even if you don't feel a lump and you have a family history, you should check. But your check would be an ultrasound.
Great information, Dr. Darville. All right, so I want to get back to Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supply. So we know that the Bahamas is not just New Providence. Are we seeing this type of equipment on the Family Islands? What's the market like? What's the demand been like? And are there any radiologists there to use the equipment? But what can you tell us?
So we have sold equipment on other islands, as well as we provide service on other islands. Our and other radiologists can attest. They also do readings remotely from other islands.
Oh, wow.
So the
Okay.
radiologist doesn't have to necessarily be on that specific island. They have persons that can read in India, persons that can read in Canada. It can, no matter where you are in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question for Bahamas Medical. Based on I guess the prevalence of breast cancer, because I think over the years we've seen more and more increase, and in cancer generally, you provide other supplies for cancer patients as well.
Yes, we do.
Have you seen a greater increase in the need for ports or chemo needles or mastectomy bras and prosthetic breasts? What in your experience have you seen happening over the last 10 years?
Well, there definitely has been an uptick on sales for the ports and needles. Along with our mastectomy service, we offer that to our survivors. We have a fitting room specialized for them, put together and offer bras, mastectomy bras, camisoles, and soaps, deodorants. And we also have fitters, certified fitters here in Nassau and in Freeport. That service we offer to our survivors.
And you've seen an increase. You've definitely seen where more and more these items are in demand, in particular the ports and chemo needles.
Yes, definitely in a demand, especially during the month of October. We offer a 25% off sale for our mastectomy bras and camisoles, anything post-op.
Well, okay. That is good to know. That is good to know. All right, so what we want to do, we need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into more with these companies, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies and Fourth Terrace Diagnostic, and find out more from the Chamber as well. This is Morning Blend Business on a Tuesday morning here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Grooving all week with you. These days are all.
Saturdays are going to be your happiest days. Our exciting up premieres October 19th on Guardian Radio 96.9.
These happy days are yours and mine. These happy days are yours and mine. Happy days.
At CFAL, we understand that a secure future is the greatest gift you can give your employees. That's why our tailor-made group pension solutions are designed to fit the needs of both large and small companies. With CFAL, you can provide the retirement you and your employees deserve, ensuring peace of mind and financial stability for years to come. Join the many businesses that have already entrusted CFAL to create the right pension plan for their employees, and let us help you build a brighter future for your team. Visit us at cfal.com to get started on building wealth so you can live well. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
Enter to win big at the Entrepreneurship Think Tank, brought to you by the Tourism Development Corporation. Learn from top industry professionals on how to launch, scale, and expand your business, all for free. Sign up today to win big with our special jackpot prizes set to take your business to the next level. It's all happening at the Andre Rogers Baseball Stadium on October 15th at 5:45 p.m. Don't wait. Sign up today at tdcbahamas.com.
All those loans I had were so overwhelming. Fidelity's debt consolidates all my loan payments into one easy payment with a built-in savings plan that pays me unbeatable interest. It's time to make that move to Fidelity. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
The future of driving is here, and it's electric. Welcome to EV City, Easy Car Sales' new home for electric vehicles. Whether you want an affordable model or a luxury ride, EV City has the perfect electric car for you. Don't just take our word for it. Come test drive the power, the smoothness, and the savings. You'll love electric after just one ride. Cut your driving costs in half and say goodbye to gas stations for good. Visit EV City on the highway through the Solomon Service Road and drive into the future today.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing. So you held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up,
We are back with Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday morning. Dwight Strachan with Duquesa Dean. It is our Chamber Hour series with the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation. We got Dr. Roll with us. And from Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies, Felicia Larimore and Brenton Major. And from Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, Dr. Elizabeth Darville. All right, so Felicia is telling us off air that you got a whole lot going on in the month of October. So tell us more about that for Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies.
Yes, throughout this month, we have a series of exciting events lined up to raise awareness and support for those affected by breast cancer. And those details begin on, well, today actually in our Freeport store, we have a survivor chit chat shop where you can visit between the hours of 9 a.m. to 12 noon. And in our Nassau store beginning October 22nd to 25th, you can chat with our trained professionals, check out new products, and enjoy refreshments all for free. And this and more in our retail stores, again, beginning today in our Freeport store and Nassau next week. We also, again, like I mentioned earlier, we offer 20% off on our mastectomy bras and post-surgical mastectomy garments for the entire month of October in our Nassau and Freeport retail store. On October 22nd at 6:30 p.m., we will host a webinar with our speakers featured Dr. Ross Downs and Dr. Veronica Aviles, who will cover important topics, including the role of the prevena in wound care, managing complications after oncoplastic surgery, and the importance of recovery care garments. Those events leading up for the entire month of October.
If you want to be a part of that, what do you need to do?
To write the
you have to
webinar,
yeah.
You check out our Facebook and our Instagram pages. It's also in the newspapers last week, and you register for this event.
Okay, all right. Good stuff. Good stuff going on. Dr. Darville, well, if you're dealing with 100+ people a day with the breast exams, I mean, are you booked out for the rest of the month? How does that work?
And I also have a question for Dr. Doc as well.
People make appointments. Most people who do their breast studies in October make appointments beforehand, but you don't have to make an appointment. We have 37 people. You will be served. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
So my question, Dr. Darville, is do you need a doctor's referral for the radiology scans? Like,
No.
Can someone walk in and say, I want a mammogram? Or do they need to come with a slip?
No, you don't have to come with a slip. For a mammogram.
Okay.
For a mammogram or a breast ultrasound, you don't have. If you are an insurance patient and you need an ultrasound, you have to have a slip for your ultrasound or they won't cover it. But most insurance companies, all insurance companies, I think, give you a mammogram every year. So the mammogram is covered fully, but your ultrasound, you would need a slip. The mammograms, if you're an insurance patient, we can call your doctor and ask them to fax us a slip or whatever you would like. But if you're an insurance patient, you need a slip for an ultrasound, not for the mammogram.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So it's not talked about much, but we know it happens. Men do get breast cancer as well. Dr. Darville, what do you recommend to men? Or what should they be looking out for and keeping in mind?
Men do get breast cancer. The underlying cause for breast cancer in men, other than genetic, is a little different. Men should not be screened the way women are. But because a man has very little breast tissue, if there is something in a man's breast, they would feel it almost immediately. And in that case, the man can have a mammogram as well. Breast cancer can be spontaneous or it can be genetic. We don't know how many people in the Bahamas carry the breast, but that gene or that mutated gene, everybody has a BRCA gene or two, BRCA1 and BRCA2. everybody has these genes, but in some family lines, the gene is mutated, and that mutation causes the development of breast cancer in women and prostate cancer in men. So if a man has a mutated gene, they're more likely to develop prostate cancer than breast cancer. That gene is also linked to ovarian cancer and cervical cancer. So the problem is that still that testing is extremely expensive. But your family history is not expensive at all. You just have to be aware that your mother or your aunts or your grandmother or whoever had breast cancer.
Wow.
If that breast cancer crossed generations, then the likelihood of your having a BRCA mutation. We have families who have like 4 or 5 people in one generation with breast cancer. So your family history is extremely important for you to know. Now, this is the Bahamas. You may not know your family history, but as far as you can, it is important to ask the question of the elderly people in your family. What did grandma so-and-so die from? What did, auntie so-and-so die from? Then now, if you come to your mother's generation, are any of her sisters affected? Is she affected? And if you are in your generation, do you have any cousins who have breast cancer? So that is important for you to find out for your information, to know that it is even more important for you to check.
Wow.
So I'm just curious, if a man, as you said, notices there is something in his chest, would you recommend that he come for a mammogram, or should he go to a doctor first?
He should go to his doctor and confirm that that is not normal. And then his doctor will send him to us. Now, the problem in the Bahamas again is that men don't like to go to doctors. So this push goes to the wives, the girlfriends, whoever, right?
Okay.
If you notice the lump, then you encourage, take, nag, whatever you have to do, your partner to go and get it checked.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Great information.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm Dr. Darvel. With the Bahamas being in the top numbers as it relates to countries with breast cancer diagnosis, do you have an opinion on why that's the case?
No, it could be genetic, but we just don't have enough information to say that it is genetic because not enough population, not enough of our population is actually BRCA tested. So we don't diet, people say it's this and that, we don't know. Our diet isn't the best. So whether it's related or not, we really should do something about our diet. But we really don't know.
Okay.
All right. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. You are on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Swan and to Cressa and to Dr. Darwin.
Morning.
Yeah,
Morning.
great information. Dr. Darwin. Yeah, while I do understand that cancer is transmissible, but it's not contagious, right? And you explained into genetics of it, right? But there's information out there. I mean, it's not. It's like. Do you think that all of the cancers are genetics? Because it's saying different online. It's like only 7% of cancers are genetic because of genetics. I mean, so because we're being inundated with these cancers. And Mr. Swan, thank you for saying the word chest, right? Because I'm a bony man. I don't have no breast. I have a chest.
Yes, you do have breast.
Because, I mean, all of the cancers can't be because of genetics. I mean, come on, man.
No, all of the cancers are not genetic. And worldwide, that the statistics of 7% may be correct. But you realize in the Bahamas, we are all related, right? Our gene pool is very specific, right? And we're not really helping ourselves. So the worldwide statistic may be correct, but in this pocket of the globe, we're not exactly expansive in our choices of mates. So the same genes go round and round and round. So if the cause of our increased incidence in breast cancer is genetic, it's going to be the figure is going to be higher for us because we're not bringing in any new genes. So you are correct. That low figure is a worldwide figure.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in the Bahamas, the figure is higher because our...
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Dr. Davel, in light of this being a breast cancer awareness month, you hear people saying that they can't afford a mammogram. Is it offered by NHI? And if not, can you tell us the general cost or any promotions you're running this month?
Every October, our mammograms cost $56, including VAT. So that's every October, the mammogram is $56, including VAT.
And that's a great price.
And should you have a mammogram every year? Is that how it works?
You should have a mammogram every year, especially if you're a Bahamian.
Yeah.
You should have a mammogram every year.
Okay.
Now, some people who know they have no family history, who have fatty breasts, and therefore everything is easy to see, they may skip 1 year and do just an ultrasound, but you should have a mammogram every year. You can have breast cancer without having a lump that you can see or feel. So we have many cases. You find anything in the person's breast, but the person has a node, a lymph node under the arm. And when you biopsy the lymph node, it is breast cancer. Those people, that breast cancer will show up maybe in an MRI. So it is not cut and dry that you have to have a lump. But you really should, especially if you're a Bahamian, you really should have a mammogram every year.
All right. Dr. Leah Roll, this is some fantastic information from members of the Chamber. Let's talk more about that role of the Chamber in educating people in the country.
Sure. Thank you for that, Dwight. So as you know, we would have just launched or relaunched the Chamber Institute. And of course, that is the education arm of the Chamber. And what it does is it allows for information like this through our members to be passed on to, of course, the general public. That's important to us because, one, it gives our members an opportunity. And so there's now a platform and you can have a benefit as a part of being a member. But also it's because some of the things or some of the information that is disseminated is very vital to the public and it can save lives. And so that was one of the greatest things that we wanted to do this morning, to help persons to understand the benefits of being a Chamber member, as well as some of those nuances, as we call it, with membership and relative to, of course, breast cancer and this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've had quite an exciting lineup at the Chamber for the past month, coming on the heels of our Royal Caribbean Power Brunch. We had the Chamber Conclave, which was October 4th, and that was great because what it did was it allowed for all of our members to come together and all of the family island chambers to come together for one day of planning and collaboration. We had our press release in Mixer. I told you the last time I was here about the $300,000+ renovation that the Chamber did that cost us $0.00. Wow. And so we did a press release in Mixer to pay homage to all of those businesses that have supported us. And I want to publicly thank those 28 businesses again. I won't call their names because it's a lot of them. But as you can imagine, it was a mammoth task to bring the building up to standard. And so it's done completely free to us. We have several things that are coming up. So we have our AGM, which is our annual general meeting on November 21st. We have a Bites in Business, which is a cocktail reception for members only, where it brings together stakeholders, government officials, ministers, and our members in one central location for an opportunity not only to break bread together and socialize, but to discuss business and to discuss those things that are pertinent to our members. On November 13th, we have our Cyber Tech Security Summit. That's going to be at Grand Hyatt, exclusively for members. It's $50, so members get 50% off. And we have our Giving a Helping Hand initiative. That's, of course, on November 8th. And our BBSQ National Town Hall, which is November 14th. And finally, we have a team that is traveling on Friday to Samoa for the Commonwealth Heads of Government Business Forum.
Oh, wow.
So we're doing quite a bit. And you'll continue to see members at the forefront, as with this morning, as we move along.
Excellent. So busy, keeping busy.
Firing on all cylinders, we say.
Yes,
Wonderful.
and great initiatives.
Thank you.
Creative, but very great initiative.
Yeah. Great information this morning. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you very much, Felicia Larimore and Brendan Major with Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies, and Dr. Elizabeth Darville, life-saving information from Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center. Thank you all.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Lee Roll, we'll see you next month.
Definitely.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank
Hey,
you, guys.
We're going to take a break and be back with the final few minutes of Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, 'cause if I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, fire, dancing through the fire, 'cause I am the champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Louder than a lion, 'cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar.
Planning for retirement can be overwhelming, but with CFAL, it doesn't have to be. We offer tailor-made individual, group, and pension solutions that take the guesswork out of retirement planning. Whether it's for you or your company, don't leave your future to chance and let the trusted hands of CFAL's experts guide you toward peace of mind and financial stability. Low upfront costs and affordable monthly payments make it easy for you to build wealth so you can live well. Visit us at cfal.com to start on your path toward financial freedom. CFAL, growing wealth for future generations.
The future of driving is here, and it's electric. Welcome to EV City, Easy Car Sales' new home for electric vehicles. Whether you want an affordable model or a luxury ride, EV City has the perfect electric car for you. Don't just take our word for it. Come test drive the power, the smoothness, and the savings. You'll love electric after just one ride. Patience for good. Visit EV City on the highway through the Solomon Service Road and drive into the future today.
It is time for your morning business report, brought to you by CFAL. Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs Clay Sweeting defending the $60 million cost for the reconstruction of the glass window bridge in Eleuthera after former Minister of Public Works Desmond Bannister said the new price tag was frightening. Sweeting, who's member of Parliament for Central and South Eleuthera, said the increase was due to inflation and geotechnical studies that found voids at the southern end of the bridge necessitated a lengthening of the bridge. You can read his explanation in today's Guardian Business section. A Bayman real estate agent says the market is desperate for inventory for young professionals as properties last mere days before they're bought up. Chief Executive of One Oak Bahamas, Matt Sweeting, telling Guardian Business that in the past week, the quote bull run continued. Demand for real estate, there's still a lack of inventory, predominantly for local buyers which is the market that we serve most, and this market is desperate. Well, the market has been red hot for all of 2024 and majority of 2023 for both the local and luxury markets, but a lack of inventory is a problem as the sellers market continues to stay strong. Straw vendors want the reintroduction of the rotation system in the Nassau straw market. President of the Straw Business Person Society, Rebecca Small, says that vendors want the reintroduction of the rotation system that was put in place as a temporary measure after the country reopened after the pandemic. The rotation system was first met with criticism from straw vendors, but now seen as a preferable measure that would allow all vendors to make money without being crowded out by another in the market. Overseas, months of drought in southern Africa, triggered by the El Nino weather phenomenon, has had a devastating impact on more than 27 million people and caused the region's worst hunger crisis in decades. The United Nations Food Agency announcing today that the situation could become a full-scale human catastrophe. 5 countries, Lesotho, Malawi, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, have declared national disasters over the drought and resultant hunger. The World Food Program estimates that some 21 million children in southern Africa are now malnourished as crops have failed. Tens of millions in the region rely on small-scale agriculture that's irrigated by rain for their food and to make some money for provisions. Aid agencies warning of a potential disaster late last year as the naturally occurring El Nino led to below-average rainfall across the region, while its impact has been exacerbated by warming temperatures linked to climate change. And U.S. stocks are hanging near their records today after several big banks delivered stronger profits for the summer than analysts expected, while the price of crude oil tumbled again. The S&P 500 was up 0.1% in early trading a day after setting an all-time high for the 46th time this year. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 256 points, or 0.6. NASDAQ Composite was 0.3% higher. Bank of America and Goldman Sachs both rose at least 1% after reporting stronger results for the latest quarter than analysts feared, while Charles Schwab jumped 8.4% after likewise delivering better profits than expected, thanks in part to more customers opening brokerage accounts. Walgreens Boots Alliance was another winner, up 10.7% after topping analyst forecasts. The drugstore chain also said it will close about 1,200 locations over the next 3 years as it tries to turn around its struggling U.S. business. Closer to home in your Market Watch, recapping trading on the BISX from Friday before the holiday. Bank of the Bahamas, 1,100 shares traded, closing at $4.05 unchanged. Bahamas Waste moving 275, unchanged at 10.90. Cable Bahamas moving 81,900, down 39 cents to 3.51. Commonwealth Brewery moving 15,000, down $1.19, closing at 10.79. Commonwealth Bank moving 268,801, down 46 cents to 4.54. Consolidated Water up 11 cents, closing at $5.02. Emira Incorporated 9. The BISX All Share Index closing at 2,973.90, down 3.67. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Duquesidine, thank you so much for being with us today. Really appreciate you as always.
Absolutely. Had a great time. Have a great Tuesday, Dwight and Bahamas.
I'll see you next week. And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9.